Newcastle United are sitting third in the Premier League. They're playing good football, intensive football as well. So in Football Manager, as we do, we are going to try and recreate that, and hopefully we get some very, very good results at Newcastle. We are going to play some games. We are going to make some signings as well. So let's get stuck in to the video.
Big time, knowing that, diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine.
Welcome back, people, and if you are new, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you got that notification bell on as well. Even if you're already subscribed, make sure you have that notification bell on so you don't miss a video. But also, liking this video will be very, very appreciated. It's very important for you guys to like these videos. It helps the channel grow, it helps the video grow, and all of that good stuff. But now we've got that little plug out of the way, let's get stuck into this video. So today we are going to be looking at the results. We are going to recreate the tactic, but also we are going to play two games, one of them being an FA Cup final. We are Newcastle United, so I thought let's have some fun. So what I did do is make some signings, because the original players, let's be honest, they aren't the greatest players at all. So I have made, is it 5 signings? Yes, we have made 5 signings. One is a central midfielder, the other is a defensive midfielder. Then we've got 2 centre backs, and we've also got a left back as well. So the central midfielder is Danilo, a Brazilian. I believe a lot of you buy him on Football Manager. We also bought Francesco Ortega, a left back, very, very confident on the ball. He likes to get further forward. He's a pretty decent left back. We also got Ilya Zabiani. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He's a young centre back, one for the future, but he also played 21 games, as we can see, in the Premier League. So he did develop a little bit. We also got Leonardo Bellardi from Marseille, someone that I haven't really bought on Football Manager before. So these are players that I haven't really bought on Football Manager, players that I would like to use in the future. Bellardi, another very decent centre-back, 6'2", he's got jumper and reach again. One more for the future. Then we bought Cooper Miners. Again, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. More of a holding midfielder, a defensive midfielder, a playmaker. Though we do have Bruno Gomes already doing that, it just means now we have 2 very good playmakers. Of course, one of them can play in central midfield. So those are the signings that I've made, but now we are going to look at the results, then look at the tactic, and then lastly sign off by playing 2 games to see how the tactic plays out. So here we are, the results. In the English Premier League, we managed to finish 3rd with Newcastle. We lost 7 games, and 6 of those 7 games were away from home. And let's forget about losing 4-1 at home against Manchester City. We also drew 5 games, 3 of them, again, the majority are away from home. And then we won 26 games. And obviously, you guys can guess, home matches were kind of our fortress, kind of our fortress. In the Emirates FA Cup, we have to play that final. It's against Wolves, so we have a very, very good chance of winning that. And in the Carabao Cup, we got knocked out in the 3rd round by the Gunners. Looking at the squad stats, the team stats, we had the 2nd most goals in the league. For the most shots, we come in 3rd. For the fewest shots against, again, we are 3rd. So we are very, very solid, and we can build from this as well. Player stats, Alexander Isak scored 24 goals, the 2nd top goal scorer, but Erling Haaland with 47 goals. For the most assists, Kieran Trippier with 18 assists. Most shots for Isak, sitting in 2nd place. Most man of the match awards, Isak again, joint 2nd with Mo Salah. Kieran Trippier played the most key passes. That is probably down to set pieces. Best pass completion, nobody in the top 8. Most tackles, 1. Alan Saint-Maximin, which is a surprise. And Miguel Almiron. So actually, our 2 wingers with the most tackles. Interesting. Most dribbles made were not in the top 8, so it was more of a team effort. And for the clean sheets, Nick Pope joined 2nd with Ederson, Ramsdale and Pickford. And for the fewest conceded, Nick Pope drops down into 5th place. Now looking at the pass map, and I'm gonna swing over the real life pass map as well for the most recent game against Chelsea, and we can see how very, very similar this is. I mean, Bruno Gomes is slightly positioned to the left for me, whereas in real life he's slightly positioned in the right. But again, in real life, you're not really going to get the identical pass map every single game. And for me, this is close enough, especially what we want to achieve, which is those wider overloads, which we will talk about right now, because we are going to move over now. Welcome back to the tactical screen, and I did promise I have 3 tactics, and that is exactly what we are going to look at. But now this is the tactics screen, the 4-3-3 that I have created for Eddie Howe and his Newcastle side in Football Manager. Some of you may have noticed something instantly, and that is the cautious mentality. I felt it worked really, really well in the system. I didn't feel to be on a positive mentality, because then we are asking players, even though it's in risk-free situations, we are still asking players to move further ahead. So for an example, Kieran Trippier, our right wing back or our right back on wing back support, on positive mentality, he's going to be more inclined just to be getting further forward, and he's got less of a defensive responsibility, which is something that we didn't really want. We wanted to be kind of solid first, and then once we've got our shape, then we can put on that intense pressure. That is what I'm kind of aiming for, which is the reason why we've gone for that cautious mentality. But in like my last video, Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, we are going to be using Mark R stats. He's got some nice tactical graphics that we can look at, which helps us. It really, really does help me and Haas to kind of create these tactics for you guys to watch. So we do have Newcastle versus Chelsea, which is kind of the game that I've been focusing throughout this whole video. And we can see here the back four, the holding midfielder, the 2 wider players. We have here Joe Linton and Willett kind of overloading on the left hand side, sorry. But on the right hand side is slightly different. So we do have Longstaff from time to time. He does find his way over to that right hand side, but more often it was Kieran Trippier getting further ahead to connect with Almiron and created that overload on the right hand side. Then we have kind of Chris Wood dropping deep to link up play, but obviously if it wasn't Chris Wood, it will be Alexander Isak or it would be Callum Wilson, and I feel Isak and Wilson will have slightly different roles, and it's more of those roles that I've gone with in Football Manager. So we can see here a nice 4-3-3, and we can see how they like to play in those wider areas to try and create those wider overloads and also those triangles. As we can see, a nice triangle between number 36, number 2 and 24, and on the left hand side is number 33, Dan Burn, number 7 and number 28. In the next image, even though we're not focusing on Chelsea, we can see Chelsea had 3 high turnovers, but so did Newcastle. Newcastle also had 3 high turnovers. Now, none of them led to a shot, but we can see here that Newcastle really wanted to press Chelsea high. Chelsea wanted to press Newcastle high as well, but they weren't as successful, I found, during this 90 minutes. Now, looking at zone 14 and half space passes, I mean, Newcastle were by far the more threatening side in this game, but you can kind of see in the areas that Newcastle really, really tried to attack. It weren't those wider areas, those wider players, so the left winger and also the left side central midfielder. They also like to exchange and connect in those little half spaces. Same too on the right hand side as well, because we spoke about Kieran Trippier making underlapping runs rather than overlapping runs, and again, it is attacking that half space. So 13 zone 14 passes and then 40 half space passes. Now we're comparing that to Chelsea. Chelsea only played 11 half space passes. Another thing that I also found intriguing, which I really we did. I don't want to say I hope we achieved. We did achieve this in Football Manager, but it's very interesting to see how high Newcastle were actually operating here. We can see with the clusters of progressive passes attempts, the starting point of a lot of these progressive passes are very high. Now, again, we are comparing it with Chelsea, and you can see how deep a lot of these progressive passes were in comparison to Newcastle, where a lot of those progressive passes were higher up, and this shows the intent that Newcastle had. So though we are using a cautious mentality in Football Manager, I am slightly hoping that player roles also help us. So for an example, a deep line playmaker, hoping that he can operate higher up, so he's not going to be on a defensive role or duty, but I'm hoping he can operate a little higher up, and then he can attempt those progressive passes higher up as well. And lastly, we can have a look at the classes of all pass attempts. Now, I didn't try to replicate this in Football Manager. What we could have done is mainly possibly use wider passing, attacking width, and then focus down on the right hand side, but I really did feel that it affected the attacks in Football Manager. And it's possible that for this game, it was more so just for this game against Chelsea that this happened. This might not necessarily be a pattern that we see from Newcastle throughout the whole season, where everything is happening down on the right hand side, though we have seen Miguel Almiron absolutely shine in recent weeks. So there might be an attempt to get the ball on the right hand side, more so to get the ball more to Almiron, but in general, I don't feel they necessarily ignore the left-hand side. But again, just in Football Manager, I felt that it provided better balance, just not to focus down on one side of the pitch. So hopefully that makes it a little bit understandable why I've chosen an inside forward on attack on the right hand side, kind of Miguel Almiron staying wider, and then on the left hand side we've got another inside forward on support, kind of obviously more of supporting play, but hoping we get some nice rotation. So hopefully the Mazzala can run out wide whilst the inside forward is inside. Some nice positional rotations. That is what we are hoping for. In possession, we want things to happen at a quicker pace. That is what we want. Passing directness set the standard, and everything is fairly blank. Again, we don't really see enough patterns for me to, for an example, play out from defence. Do we see enough patterns from Newcastle to use that instruction? Run at defense. Is the whole team running at the defense? I don't necessarily feel like it. Even hit early crosses, shoot on sight. I don't feel these is what we see from Newcastle just yet. These aren't patterns, which is why I've only got the higher tempo, because I feel that Newcastle are aiming to be intense, operate at a higher tempo and disrupt opposition defences. In transition, when possession has been lost, we are going to counter press, and when possession has been won, we are going to be making counter movements. This doesn't necessarily have to be on, but I am taking in the fact that we have a cautious mentality, so everything is going to be happening more cautiously. Once we win the ball, players are going to be more cautious getting further forward without this instruction, so that is one reason why I've got it on. And for the goalkeeper, he's going to be taking short kicks. Out of possession, we do have a higher press because that is what Newcastle like to do, but it's in coordination. It's not everybody just running further forward, which is why the trigger press is on more often. We are preventing the short goalkeeper distribution. We did see that against Chelsea, and we are just using a standard line, well, a standard defensive line with get stuck in. Now, that is kind of the main tactic. In goal, we do have a sweeper keeper. The back two is a central defender, a ball-playing defender. Left back, Dan Burn, a fullback on support, whereas the right one is more adventurous. He likes to get further forward. He likes to make darting runs. In defensive midfield, we do have a defensive midfielder on support. Apologies for anyone that was hoping for a deep-lying playmaker, but don't forget, we do have two other tactics. In central midfield, we do have a box-to-box midfielder running wide, getting further forward and staying wider, and he's partnered with a Mazzala, run wide with the ball. Again, trying to operate in those wider areas as much as possible without having to use these sort of instructions. I'm trying to use the player roles instead. Now, in attacking third, we have an inside forward on support, inside forward on attack. Lastly, up top, we do have a pressing forward on attack. Now, for the second tactic, it's the same, but now we've got this idea to kind of attack through the middle. So now we've got a different attacking outlook or attacking process. I don't know what word is the right word there. So now we are using focus play through the middle, and now Bruno Guimaraes is in the conversation of being a deep line playmaker on support. Now Sean Longstaff is more of a ball in the midfielder rather than a box-to-box midfielder. Let's be honest though, it wasn't Longstaff that was playing majority of the games in Football Manager. But we are also trapping on the inside. So this is more of a counter-attack. Trap them on the inside, get the ball, boom, run forward and attack. Though I did use that word counter-attack, it doesn't mean that you use this against the bigger sides. I did use this against sides like Nottingham Forest and those sort of sides, because though we are using the words counter-press, though we are using the words counter-attack, it doesn't mean sit back, wait for the pressure and then boom, go on a counter-attack. Actually, we are trying to win the ball high, and then once we do win the ball high, we want to go on a counter-attack through the middle, which can be very, very risky against the bigger sides. So against the bigger sides, I tend to focus the play down the flanks, get the ball away from the goal. So now in this setup, as the same one as the central ones, it's fairly the same. The roles are the same. Now on the central one, we do have an inverted winger because he likes to overload in the central areas, and we are focusing in the middle. And then for the attack wings, we moved them back to inside forward, and now we are focusing down the flanks, getting the ball away from the goal. And that there, unfortunate people, wraps up the tactic. That wraps up the Newcastle tactic. We do have the FA Cup final to play as well. I will see you guys at St James's Park. So, because we are playing a bigger team, I still feel we can go for the central tactic, but We are playing a bigger team, so we are going to, for this game, focus down the flanks. So we're going to use this system here. Cooper Miners as the DLP, Bruno Guimaraes as the Mazzala, and Joel Linton as the ball-winning midfielder. This is our side, and we're going to play Tottenham Hotspur. So here's Emerson Royale with a long throw. We head it out, but it... Oh, here we are. Alexander Isak. Can we go on a break? My headphones are too loud. Here's Kieran Trippier on the ball. Plays it back to Zabiani. Zabiani on the ball. Dan Burn. Now Newcastle are in possession of the ball. Bruno Guimaraes. The Mazzala breaking through into channels. Oh my God, he's hit the crossbar and the post. He literally hit the crossbar and the post. What a shot. What a start from Newcastle. What a start. Here's Kieran Trippier with a free kick. He whips it into far post. And what a save by Hugo Lloris. He keeps it out. And that is probably one reason why Kieran Trippier gets a lot of key passes. Now he's responsible for the corner. He whips it in. And it's headed out by Tottenham. Oh, Harry Kane. Hey, chill out. Chill out, boys. Chill out. Unlucky. That has got to be highlight over. Again, goal line technology. It's to open in 5 minutes, and already the goal line technology has had to be used twice. So here is Matt Target with a throw-in. He's going to throw it down to St. Maximin. Balls into... Oof! That was such a weird highlight. Weird one. So here's Kieran Trippier with a corner. He's going to whip it in. Dan Burn! And it's 1-0. It had to come. It had to come at some point. I almost pressed my stream bet button. I stream, guys. I stream. If you want to follow me on Twitch, make sure you follow me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/RDF Tactics. And every time we score a goal, I've got a button where I press, but I don't want to get copyrighted on YouTube. It's 1-0 to Newcastle, thankfully, for that set-piece goal. Here's Kieran Trippier with another set-piece and Dan Burn. And we've hit the post, but the referee has blown his whistle because Alexander Isak was offside. So it's half-time. Newcastle 1, Tottenham 0. Newcastle have had 5 shots at our goal, 2 on target, but they haven't done anything with it. They've had 60% of the ball, which is not a bad sign necessarily, but we have only completed 77% of our passes, and that's something that I might look to fix. Now, we might, in the second half, play with a shorter passing approach. Almiron has a light injury, so we are going to take him off. Ryan Fraser or Joe Willock? It's obviously not going to be Fabian Schär. So I'm going to bring on Joe Willock, actually. I want to try something. So we're going to bring on Joe Willock. And we're going to switch that like that. And then for the passing, shorter passing, hopefully keep better possession of the ball in the second half. And, oh, we've got a throw in. Here's Matt Target with the throw. Throws it long to Alexander Isak. Beats Emerson Royale. He's inside the box. Here's Willock! He's got to be scoring. And that is one thing, guys, as well. If you ever do download a tactic from someone, or if you even create your own tactics, tweaking is very, very important. On a match-to-match basis, it might be made... Oh, it's 2! It's Dan Burn again. It's 2-0 to Newcastle. I don't know what Hugo Lloris was doing, but it's an assist for Willock as a winger, though they told us that Willock can't play on the flank. Well, he can play on the flanks, but they didn't suggest him. They suggested Ryan Fraser, but look at that chest. Dan Burn stole the goal. But yeah, as I was saying, you want to make changes, and it might be a very, very small tweak. It might be from normal passing to shorter passing. It might be slightly higher tempo to very high tempo. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to change the whole tactic, but tweaking sometimes, it really does help you get results. It really helps me get results. Every time I make a video, I am not using one tactic and just skipping. It's Trippier. Oh, what a save. It's not me literally having one tactic, skipping. I am making tweaks, slight tweaks. If I'm 2-0 up, I need to make a tweak because I don't want to drop points and make it 2-2 just for the sake of keeping the exact same tactic. But here's Emerson Royale. He's progressing with the ball, plays it back. We haven't seen Tottenham attack yet in this game. Here's Alexander Isak. It doesn't look like they're going to attack today. Here's St. Maximin, plays it out wide to Kieran Trippier. Now we're seeing Trippier overlap, plays it back to St. Maximin in this sort of half space area. Here we go. He plays it into Bruno Guimaraes in zone 14. He smashes it over the bar. And I had to use those sort of words in the half space into zone 14 because when we done our little tactical analysis earlier, I spoke about that. And I think it's key for you guys to see it in the match engine so you guys know what I'm talking about and not just waffling zone 14 half space when I'm doing my tactical analysis. I know and I appreciate some of you guys also want to see it in Football Manager. Hey, St. Maximin plays it back to Joe Linton. Here's Kieran Trippier. Nice little passing triangles here. He loses the ball to Perisic, but it doesn't matter because the ball winner midfielder, Joe Linton, working hard. Here's Alexander Isak. It's free. It might be off though. It might be off. Tottenham are getting absolutely ruined here. Absolutely, it's disallowed. They are getting ruined, and possibly this just changing. Like I said, I feel that we are much stronger side now, and we've just made that minor tweak. And no, I spoke too soon. They might actually go and score here. It's off the line. They didn't deserve to go 1-0 up. I don't care. Yes, go on, boys. Well done. Off the line. They didn't deserve that goal. And now looking at the passing completed, now 82% passing. It's no surprise that now we're having a better second half. It's just no surprise. Here's Kieran Trippier. Alexander Isak plays it into St. Maximin. He takes a pass to the defender, but the pass gets intercepted. Very good positioning by Eric Dyer, but here's Harry Kane on the break. Good carrying by Harry Kane. Here's Bentancur, plays it over to Son. Son is gonna... we should have got the ball there. Here's Bentancur now. Tottenham are getting into the game. Possibly pushing players forward now. Harry Kane, good save on the rebound. What's happening? It was a good save. Okay, I think they're pressing or pushing players forward. Now we're going to get our deep line playmaker on the defend. I'm thinking if it should be the ball winner midfielder on defend. And Kieran Trippier as well. He can be a fullback rather than a wing back, getting further forward. And that is basically it. I think the highlight's still going. Cooper Miners, Joe Linton, Alexander. Oh, referee! Referee, have a word. Have a word. Our average position is looking a bit mess, but that's only because we made that sub of switching the wingers around. So my left winger is looking very, very narrow. Hugo Lloris kicks it long, and it's intercepted by Matt Target. Here's Taganga on the ball now. We could have possibly made a sub as well, get some fresh legs. Here's Bentancur. Son, Kieran Trippier cuts it out though. Here's St. Maximin. I see Alexander Isak on the line. I mean, we've got 3 players here. We don't necessarily need all 3 of these players here. Bruno Guimaraes as well. He's getting too excited. He could be a box-to-box now. Again, he doesn't need to get further forward. There's Joe Linton and St. Maximin. Look at the passing. Look at the passing, boys. Look at the possession football here from Newcastle. Don't get caught. Oh, lovely stuff, boys. Kieran Trippier, if we score, it's St. Maximin. Pulls it back. Cooper Minor. What a goal. What a goal. What a football goal. What a goal, son. What a footballing goal. The build-up was fantastic. The build-up was... Joe Linton is so important. I mean, he does the hard work, right? If we lose the ball, he's the one that wins it back straight away. And even he played his role in that highlight as well. What a flipping goal. From the back. Well, from deep as well. Kieran Trippier whips it in. Dan Burn! He hits the crossbar. He almost got his hat-trick. We've hit the woodwork 3 times. We've had a clear cut. We've had 3 half chances. This has been a very, very good game for Newcastle United. And this match ends Newcastle 3 and Tottenham Hotspur 1. I know, I'm mispronouncing the name, but on purpose. And it's 3-0. Oh, what a game. What a game. What a goal at the end as well. That's got me pumped for the FA Cup final. Well, that win leaves us third. That game leaves us third, but obviously the season was already completed. Now we are going to get to that FA Cup final. So here we are, FA Cup final day, and man like Miguel Almiron is injured. So we are going to go with Joe Willock on the left-hand side. I mean, I felt his import last time was very good. So this is the team that we're going to go with. And now we are going to focus through the middle rather than the flanks. And hopefully we get to see some nice football like we did see last game. So hopefully it's a repeat of that. Let's go, boys. Let's bring home the FA Cup trophy. So the boys are coming out through the tunnel. They're lining up for their pictures and their national anthem. They're in a huddle and it's now for the start. Dan Burn in Wembley lifts it over the top early intentions. Semedo, Nuno. Oh, look at the high press, boys. Bruno Guimaraes. He loses the ball out. Oh, another more high pressing. St. Maximin, it's 1-0 in 5 seconds. What a start for Newcastle Newcastle United. What is going on, boys? It's the high pressing, that intense football that we want to see from Newcastle. Look at the boy again, Joelinton. Put some respect on Joelinton's name, ladies and gentlemen. This is how important he is in real life, and I'm so happy we get to see how important the role he's played in this tactic as well. And it's 1-0 already inside 30 seconds. Wow, what a start. The game has died down a little bit after that little bursting start from Newcastle United, so that now our pass completion is a little better this game, so we might not need to, oof, unlucky. We might not necessarily need to use shorter passing as our tweak at halftime. Here's Kieran Trippier, another set piece. We are set piece kings, by the way. Here's St. Maximin, Bruno Guimaraes. Kieran Trippier out wide. He's going to not whip it in, but here's Bruno Guimaraes. Matt Target now. Dan Burn plays it out wide to Matt Target. He's looking for Willock. Collins has made a mistake. It's Willock. I told you about Willock as a left winger. I told you. Arsenal signed him up. Hello? Yeah, can we have Joe Willock? He's not interested in coming back. We've made a mistake, boys. We've made a mistake. It is now 2-0 to Newcastle in the FA Cup final. Nathan Collins has made a huge error inside his own penalty area there. An error that he shouldn't be making in a cup final. But we are approaching halftime now. Possibly we don't need to make any tweaks for the second half, but we are. So Bruno Guimaraes now as a box-to-box midfielder on support. And what we are going to do... Yeah, you're already sorted. Kieran Trippier. No, we're going to leave it. We're going to leave the system fairly the same. I like it. Trap inside. Should we go for a mid-block? We're going to go for a mid-block in the second half. Because, again, it's something that Newcastle are very, very capable of doing in real life. Though I did focus on one tactic, well, the system that they used against Chelsea, which was high pressing. They have used a mid-block on occasion. So we're going to try and just cancel out this game now with a mid-block. Here's St. Maximin. What actually might happen as well is we might give away a lot of possession. So we've got 52% of the ball. We're just going to keep an eye out on that. Here's Guedes. Well done, Alexander Isak, our pressing midfielder. Here's Joe Willett, our left winger. And I'm sorry if I keep pausing it. It's just nice to see certain things. So here's Joe Willett. Yeah, so against Chelsea, Joelinton played as the left winger, and I spoke a little bit how he moved centrally a lot, and he played kind of in between the lines. He wasn't just basically out as a winger, as Miguel Almiron was more out wide in that little area. He collects the ball and he drives, whereas Joelinton had more of a free role. He can cut inside, he can operate as an attacking midfielder, he can drop deep and help his team defend, and it's kind of what we're seeing from Willock Care, which is he's playing in that Joelinton role at the moment. So we are defending. He comes deep. The moment we win the ball, he's actually playing a lot centrally to pick up the ball. And now he's running out onto the right-hand side. He's linking up play. He's going to run out to the left, back into the left. No, he hasn't. He's moved. He's staying central. He's inside the box. Let's look at Willock. Let's see if he's going to receive. No, he hasn't. Oh! What a save by Jose Sarr from Cooper Miners. He's almost got another brilliant goal. And what we can do here for Cooper Miners actually is drop him down to defend. Kieran Trippier whips the ball in. Zabiani! What a save by Jose Sarr. Joe Maldinho whips it in. Joelinton clears the ball. Joe Willock now is on the break. Go on, boy. Go on, boy. Use that pace of yours. Oh, well done. Hold it. Ah, the pass was there. Unlucky. Alexander win that. Dan Burn plays it over the top and unlucky. Jose Sarr recovers the ball, though. He's in goal, obviously. Yes, don't let Diego Costa win the ball. Here's Cooper Miners. Alexander Isak plays it out wide to Joe Willett. What a pass that was. Here's Joe Willett now on the ball. Puts the ball into the box. Bruno Guimaraes. Joelinton. Oh, he needs a goal. He needs a goal. Guedes. St. Maximin wins the header. Now this game's going to be packed with highlights. Zabiani. Cooper Miners. Bruno. Oh, what a touch! Joe Willett. Oh, Alexandra. Cut inside on your right, son. No, not. Ay-ay-yee-ya. Ay-ay-yee-ya. Bruno Guimaraes is getting knackered out there. Let's not kill him. Sean Longstaff. And we'll stop you two, actually. Oh, highlight straight away. Tactical masterclass. Dan Burn over the top looking for Willett, but finds Semedo instead. Jose Sarr kicks it long. Winners, please. And then we have winners. Here's Joel Linton, Dan Burn. On the ball, I don't think our sub has been made yet. Bruno Gomes plays it out wide to Matt Target. He's going to progress the ball, looking for Joe Willett. He's going to pull it back, surely. Yes, he is. He's going to play in Matt Target. Matt Target inside the box. Alexander Isak, and it's an easy header or easy save for Jose Sarr to make. Alexander Isak is getting knackered as well. He's ran a lot. Dan Burn, header over the top. So we are going to make that sub as well. Alexander off for Callum Wilson. Trippier. It's going to be free, ain't it? This game has... Oh, no. Oh, no. Mateus Nunes. A lovely player this guy is. Lovely player. What a run from him. Here's Ruben. Don't let him shoot. Here's Nelson Semedo. Oh, good tracking back. Who's that? Is that Willock? Well done. Ruben Neves. Neves. Mosquera plays it all the way back to Jose Sarr. Now, if they kick this long... What? Oh, no, they aren't. Max Kilman. Put pressure on him. The striker's knackered. But is that not the new striker that's just come on? Callum Wilson. He shouldn't be tired. He should be pressing him. He should have bags of energy and putting pressure on that defender there. But here's Kieran Trippier. I said this has to end 3-0 and it's ending 3-0. I told you. We had so many opportunities to make it 3 and we've made it 3. It's Dan Burn. Again, so moral of the story is if you're going to pick Newcastle, make sure you have near post corners on. Kieran Trippier, make sure Dan Burn is attacking that near post or marking the goalkeeper, and this is what you are going to get. It's 3-0 to the Newcastle, and the Emirates FA Cup has been wrapped up. So the boys are walking up to the trophy. The boys are walking up. We have to lift this. We have to lift this. Look at Alan Shearer shaking hands. The officials are there. And now Alan Shearer is going to hand the trophy over to... I don't even know who our captain is. I think it's Trippier. He's going to lift it. Ooh. Hey! And Newcastle are the FA Cup winners. Now, what we are going to do quickly, very quickly, I want to see the manager timeline. Here we are. So, signing off the season, Alexander Isak. Cooper Milan's coming in second, which is my player. Zabiani, again, my player. Danilo, again, my player. Ortega. And then we've got the rest. Oh, Botman. Sven Botman didn't play a lot of games. And I put it down to his agility, I think, for me, anyway. I find agility really important, especially at the back. And, well, we started the season off with a 2-0 loss against Liverpool. No surprise there. We did beat West Ham 6-1. We lost 3-1 away to Manchester City. We also lost against them 4-1 at home. So Manchester City are very, very difficult to beat on this game. And here is the manager timeline. We're hired. We signed one for the future, investing in potential. Future star. We got our monthly accolade as well. Moving over to the right, developing talent. Who is this? I have no idea who that is, but he's looking very decent. Best in the business. Isak keeps scoring. 33 goals is a new record. And FA Cup success. Champions League qualification as well. Well done, Newcastle and Eddie Howe. But that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I have enjoyed recording it for you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe. Peace out. Don't forget, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you've pressed that like button. Make sure you are subscribed as well, and leave a comment if you have any tactical recommendations. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe. Peace out. God bless, and out.